Inline engine. This is the simplest and most common layout, with all cylinders arranged in a single straight row, usually standing upright or tilted slightly to one side. It has been the default choice for everyday cars since the earliest days of the automobile, mainly because it is cheap to manufacture and easy to fit under a hood without much engineering complexity. A single cylinder head and one camshaft setup can serve every cylinder in the row, which keeps the parts count low and the maintenance simple. Four-cylinder inline engines remain the backbone of compact and mid-size cars around the world, while inline-six versions are prized for their natural smoothness, since the layout inherently cancels out most vibration without needing extra counterweights. V-engine. Here the cylinders are split into two banks set at an angle to each other, usually somewhere between 60 and 90 degrees, sharing a single crankshaft below them. The V-shape allows more cylinders to fit into a shorter overall length compared to an inline engine, which is why it became the layout of choice once manufacturers wanted more power without stretching the engine bay. V6 and V8 versions dominate everything from family sedans to muscle cars, and the wider angle versions tend to run smoother, while narrower angles keep the engine more compact. Italian and American manufacturers in particular leaned on this layout through the mid-20th century as horsepower races pushed engineers toward more cylinders in tighter spaces. Flat engine. Also known as a boxer engine, this layout lays the cylinders down horizontally in two opposing banks, with pistons moving outward and inward like boxers throwing punches at each other, which is where the nickname comes from. Because the opposing pistons balance each other's motion so directly, the engine runs with very little vibration and sits low in the chassis, lowering the car's center of gravity. Porsche and Subaru are the two brands most associated with keeping this layout alive, using it to give their cars a distinct exhaust note and sharper handling balance. It is more complex and expensive to manufacture than an inline or V layout, which is a major reason so few manufacturers still bother with it. W engine. This layout takes the V concept a step further by combining two V-shaped banks of cylinders into a single unit, effectively forming a W shape when viewed from the front. Volkswagen popularized this design in the early 2000s as a way to pack 12 or 16 cylinders into an engine bay that would normally only fit a V8, giving cars like the Bugatti Veyron enormous power without an impossibly long hood. The trade-off is significant mechanical complexity, since the layout needs specialized crankshaft geometry and tighter tolerances than a conventional V engine. Very few manufacturers have attempted it, and it remains mostly a showcase of engineering ambition rather than a practical mainstream choice. Rotary engine. Instead of pistons moving up and down inside cylinders, this design uses a triangular rotor spinning inside an oval-shaped housing, with the rotor's motion itself creating the intake, compression, combustion, and exhaust phases. Mazda is the manufacturer most closely tied to this layout, refining it across decades in cars like the RX-7 and RX-8, where it delivered high revving power from a remarkably small and light unit. The design trades some fuel efficiency and long-term seal durability for smoothness and a distinctive high-pitched exhaust note that has earned it a devoted following. Radial engine. Cylinders in this layout are arranged in a circle around a central crankshaft, all pointing outward like spokes on a wheel, a design that found its greatest use in early aviation rather than road cars. The circular arrangement allows excellent cooling, since every cylinder is equally exposed to airflow, and it produces a favorable power-to-weight ratio for propeller-driven aircraft. Some early automobiles and motorcycles experimented with radial layouts, though the format never suited road use well because of its bulky diameter and the difficulty of routing exhaust and intake around a car body. Today, it survives mostly in vintage aircraft and a handful of specialty vehicles built to showcase the era of early flight. thank you for watching until the end. I appreciate you. Have a good one.